Because I'm not the other color, we don't get the same respect. That's from Indians to Chinese to Caucasian to the next.
There are 3 races, all right? And it's the other 2 races, 4 races. There's white, black, and then the other 2 food groups in fast food, Chinese and Indian. Mexicans get fucking dunked on. Lo siento, disculpa, sorry, get fucking dunked on, Mexicans. You're not real. Your food group does not exist. You have never owned businesses or restaurants. So I'm going to give you guys some context. Just a week ago, or not even, basically in the days leading up to Easter, some shit happened in Huntington, West Virginia. Now, you might say you're not highly interested in that, but I'm going to counter with, yes, you fucking are. Huntington, West Virginia, small town, right? Home of Marshall University, on the very edge, border of West Virginia and Kentucky. It out there for real. It's them hills. It is there. It's where my publishing company is located, actually, and I've been to Huntington a number of times for different reasons. Nice place overall. Now, Huntington and the rest of West Virginia have their own ways about them, but they're pretty straightforward people, them West Virginians. I've never really met a lot of, I mean, there's people that lie, but like, as far as duplicitous goes, West Virginians don't tend to be into it. They don't really like hold on to their thoughts. I'll just say it like that. And so, like, if they say something, they're probably being kind of earnest about it. You know what I mean? And they might even be playing it down as an aspect of politeness just a touch. There is a chicken restaurant that used to be called Chick-a-Boom. And by used to be, I mean not very long ago. I think I saw it as Chick-a-Boom less than a year ago. So it just changed names to Crispy's Chicken, and it is spelled the stupidest way I've ever seen somebody spell the word Crispy's. Crisppies. Crispy's Chicken. It is a thing. You can see it on that box right there. So they're going to get into the backstory of this too, but we're getting into a guy. I got to give this to my wife for coining it, but the dude is like the Kanye West of fried chicken. If he didn't talk to the Kanye West's like PR people before doing this interview, I don't know who did. It does not go well for him. He probably thinks maybe it does. He's with this lady. I'm going to let it start going, but basically the controversy is people, not everybody in Huntington, West Virginia really likes Crispy's or Chick-a-Boom. It is a restaurant that I found out later was started in the Philadelphia Eagles stadium, and it has only that location. It is in Huntington, West Virginia, and it is in Lincoln Stadium, wherever the Philadelphia Eagles play. It is in those 2 locations, which is a crazy way to franchise out. I've got to say that's almost psychotic. 2 locations for an entire restaurant chain, and they are both that fucking far away from each other is wild. Also, having a restaurant inside an event space or even something like a mall, it's way different than having a brick and mortar out IRL. You know what I mean? It's a whole different type of everything. And these people did not play very well with the people of Huntington. That's not to say that Huntington people didn't like it. Some people did, some people didn't. But the restaurant had some pretty psychotic issues. Number 1 is that apparently it was kind of dirty. And number 2 is they don't offer ketchup in this restaurant. I'm going to let you dwell on that. They don't offer ketchup at all. They do sell fries. They do not offer ketchup. And we're going to start playing this. But it's that kind of restaurant. It's very strange. And I'll be doing a few little breakdowns as we get into this.
Hey everybody, this is Alligator Jackson coming to you live from our studios at Kindred Communications Building in downtown Huntington. We got a very, very special episode. As a matter of fact, we are actually going live on Talk Huntington tonight. And we have the owners of Crispies. Yeah, it's a little different going live than what.
By the way, buckle your belts in, guys, because you're about to experience quite possibly the most uncomfortable interview you may have ever seen. There is nothing like this.
Yeah, this is a reason why we're here. We had a little bit of controversy flaring up on the Easter Eve today. We have a video which was made by Kurt. It's popped up on Crispies, and it's created a firestorm. We could call it what it is. It's created a firestorm and buzzing about it all day. So we've got the video. This is Kurt today.
Hey, West Virginia. I just want to.
So this is the operator / I think he said the marketing manager. I can't remember this guy's exact title. But this is a video he put out. This is, I believe, Talk Huntington's, like they did this little graphic. Talk Huntington's the name of the show that we're watching ostensibly.
Talk about some of the things that for me, we brought Crispies here to give you a great vibe, great energy, great food. Randy Moss took his time out, invested his money. But since we've been here for the past few months, it has been nothing but negativity from the community not supporting. We know we have a great brand. We know we have a great product. We know we have great chicken. You can read the comments. So many people come here.
Now, if this sounds like Shadiversity to you at all, you are correct. It is. You're about to hear a lot of the same arguments repeated. So he's going to say the one thing it cannot be wrong is that the product is not great. You're going to hear it again and again and again. There's no way we're fucking up. So we got to figure out what you're doing wrong that's making you upset with us.
They love the food. They love the business. But you have a lot more people that's more negative than positive. So Alligator
the peddler. Fuck yes. Panza, the peddler is fucking awesome. I have been there. Peddler is awesome. In downtown Huntington. Downtown Huntington it doesn't have the biggest selection of like restaurants compared to other places, but it's got a lot of beast ass selections. That whatever that mom and pop diner is, it's actually a diner with like pies and everything. I can't remember what the hell it's called at all. I won't even try to remember. I haven't been in Huntington enough to remember all the streets. But you can get like 10 pounds of food for $5 of them. And we will be probably talking about that during the course of this. But the Chickaboom location, I'm not going to bring it up on the map or anything. It is in the middle of where all of the competition is in a very small city. Huntington's not huge, right? And it is in basically the high competition area. It's not off of like the interstate or anything. It is downtown where all of the college kids can go. It's like where the Starbucks peddlers, like he was saying, all of your little tiny mom and pop, or not mom and pop, but your trendy like fucking pubs and bistros kind of shit. There's a really good jambalaya place down there. It's fucking awesome. I got a good muffaletta. It's a little bit further away, but still, same thing. This is where everyone goes to eat. So you have a lot of competition, and if you're not being competitive, you will get fucking smoked.
Share this message, because in this city they like to choose what they like to share. But we would just want to say, it's unfortunate that we do have a great
Chickaboom location sucks. Every restaurant's located there last like 1 year.
Came back to his hometown.
Probably.
But unfortunate, the entire community is filled with negativity. Being an African-American company, this is what we deal with on a regular basis. Unfortunate, we're not the other color, which is unfortunate to you guys, because if we were the other.
So my man's starting off rip, just saying West Virginians are too racist for my chicken. Which is a crazy statement. A crazy statement to make. Because you're going to have to bring the receipts at that point, because you just can't be saying that if I was a different color, this whole thing would be going differently. I mean, you can say it, technically speaking. But you probably shouldn't unless you have like real results. Because just saying West Virginia is too racist for fried chicken is crazy. Because first off, I've met some of the most racist people you can meet in West Virginia, and none of them are too racist for fried chicken. I'll just explain it that way. And so they're getting smoked. They will articulate the problems that people have actually mentioned. He's just saying that the reason that they're making those mentions is because they're racist.
The color, I'm sure it'll get a lot more respect and a lot more support. So I think it's time to address it. You know, we've been sitting behind the camera for a long time, not wanting to address it, but I think it's come to time where we need to address it. They talk about all the staff members that we fired, all the people. If you really want to know the truth, everyone quit. You know why they quit? Because they can't stand the pressure. They can't stand the pressure of coming to work on time. They can't stand the pressure of following their schedules. Those people quit. So when the other people came in and outworked them, that's why they all quit. If you really want to know the real answer, now you have the answer.
Which is a story that's never happened. I don't know. I've never worked. The only place that I think you can get outworked and then quit is like an auto dealership or somewhere that's in sales, where your sales are directly like correlated to like, or your pay is directly correlated to your sales. You know what I mean? But like in a restaurant, if you come in and outwork me, that's on you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit because you're doing my job too. I'm actually probably going to stay. I never heard anybody like, damn, I'm lazy as shit. And then somebody comes in and just like does your job for you. It's like, I can't believe you're so lazy. I just outworked you. And the guy's just like, well, shit, I'm out of here. Fuck this job. Like, okay. Hey, you know, I haven't took the trash out yet either. You want to fucking get on that scooter? God damn.
Jack, I hope you share that to the community, that we never fired anyone. Everyone quits because
why is this video image fading in
that's here to work,
TV set? Because it's not very well made.
That's here to come on time.
They were just trying to do a little effect.
You know, unfortunately, you know, for all our crispy lovers, we love you. But you know, the other people that's just here for negativity, when you go on Facebook, they want to talk about cashless. They want to talk about everything but the product. They want to talk about every little thing else they can find. Oh, it's some dirt on the wall. Or the chair, I don't like the chair. Why can't you guys just love what we have brought here for the community? That's all I want to say. God bless.
Places like Krispies are always going to have high turnover.
See you soon.
Kurt, so
Now,
So-
first things first. Since the issue is that
So I'm gonna say my thing is this guy. I swear he went to the fucking Kanye West School of Media Training. I am not saying that because he's a black dude. The entirety of this guy's delivery sounds like he's got Kanye West in a fucking earphone saying, "Now say this, let him know." It's gonna go off the rails. I'm gonna let it play. I just want you to know this shit is.
where did you hear one time that I said anything about a white person, a Chinese person? I said the other color. The other color meaning what we.
Shout out my dude doesn't know. Shout out my dude doesn't know how to avoid the standard white guy racist white guy trope of saying, now when did I say anything wrong about white guys or Chinese people or purple people? You get into that.
We go through as a race of not being the other colors and the other shades.
He said the
like
other color.
Chinese or the.
He said the other color. Who on earth thinks he was not talking about white people? I mean, I don't mind.
Chinese that build communities within their community, within their home.
White people.
And I'm talking about Indians. I'm talking about Indian-owned businesses where they building within their own. I'm addressing my own people. I never once said one thing about one white person on that interview. Alligator Jack, can you point out one time did you hear me say
also,
white?
By the way, this guy's name is Alligator Jackson. He's gonna call him Alligator Jack this entire time.
just when I think of color, I really only think of a couple colors.
Okay.
You know, and if you're saying, you know, talking,
It begins.
well, you mean colored, and then I'm thinking you're talking. It's perception.
Perception.
I mean, we're in West Virginia, and that's
Okay.
this. I mean, this isn't Philadelphia.
I know he
This
watched
is
Black
West
Bill
Virginia.
content.
We have
Goddamn,
a
it's got that
different-
vibe. It's just the way he
we're laid
talks.
back,
His delivery has
a lot
that
slower,
vibe to it.
and not as
Not
maybe it
as
was experienced with different issues. When we hear color, I will say now that you explained it and that I took it in a
The other
different
color,
context.
there's only two.
But why?
First off,
Um,
Let me chime in.
before this gets off
rest
the
of
rails.
the world erasure in this.
It shouldn't get
that's
off the
even
rails.
fire.
So when you introduce it and you say it's unfortunate that, we're not of a different color.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you introduce yourself as you're African American, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously that introduces race into the issue.
Okay.
And,
Barely hear the YouTube video.
if it's a
Some
situation
of that has to do with the actual volume of this is pretty spectacularly all over the place.
here is that the community is
I'll
not
turn it up a
supporting you. I think that you need to first define. Let's break this down into pieces, right? Start by talking about the negativity in the community.
I think that's probably good for you.
And that's what he did.
Yep.
That's what I heard from the
So-
beginning. It wasn't that he prefaced the whole video with the color situation. He initially stated that the hatred from the community, and that's what he did.
Okay, so what's the hatred from the community?
Well, you can speak on that.
You're gonna find the entirety of this video. This lady has fucking nothing to say. She is like the anti-hype man. She will like jump in at like ad-lib points where you're like, okay, ball's in the air. I didn't quite make it in. I need you to hit that rebound for me and completely fuck it up. Like, I'm just reaching my hand out for an assist. Please hook me up. Do one useful thing. And she will just not. The best, she just derails the conversation here. And she's like, no, it is about hatred. And like, can you explain that? She goes, I think he's got it. She hot potatoed him like right in the face, man.
Let's start with this. Did anybody address that Krispies fired all the black people? Did anybody go to bat for Krispies and say, hey, that can't be true?
Well, even,
Why would they fire all the black people? Did anybody go to bat to address that Facebook message that was trending across Facebook when all the people that was commenting saying, I'm not going to go to Krispies because they fired all the black people?
Well, we can't be responsible for all of Facebook.
Yeah, I
Right?
can't.
He is trying to hold. He's trying to talk to the. My man's trying to talk to the manager of West Virginia.
So I'm not sure exactly, what comments exactly that people were saying that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The
But
color
see,
situation would make a
see,
good band name.
People
Actually,
choose
true.
and pick what they want to address. Of course, everybody was waiting for a moment like
I had
this.
never heard those
Yeah.
comments. I mean, I've seen a couple.
Alligator
things,
Jackson's the name
I think
of
a
this guy
couple
right
of
here.
People I've seen post that were actually.
right, but you can't say that you never heard those comments, but then say you see
Well-
those posts. So that's that. And
Well,
outside
yeah.
of that, let's talk about
It
the
was
simple.
never said on my page. So.
Correct.
Right, but it was never said on your page, but you've seen it. So let's just start there.
Okay.
But and furthermore, the hatred, you can start by saying this before Krispies even started building. When it was announced that Krispies was coming, or Chick-a-Boom rather, formerly known as Chick-a-Boom, formerly known as Krispies, that Randy Moss was opening up a business here. There was a lot of hatred. They were talking about what Randy Moss did back in the 80s, what he did personally,
Fact.
this. Wait, hold on. Let me
Okay,
finish.
it's not
Let me
even
finish.
relevant to the
Let me
restaurant
finish.
selling
Let me
shit.
finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's hatred. Talking about Randy Moss is not from here.
Facts.
Randy Moss this, Randy Moss that. Didn't even.
So Randy Moss is not from Huntington. If you guys don't know, so Chick-a-Boom is related to Randy Moss, who played for, I believe he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He played for a bunch of different people. I'm not super up on his career. I just watched the 30 for 30 on him. My wife, maybe, she's like, you need to know the background information. You're watching this. 30 for 30 is Rand University. He's from Rand. Randy Moss is from, I know, ironically, Randy Moss is from Rand, West Virginia, R-A-N-D, which is not only not near Huntington in the grand scheme of things, it's on the other fucking side of Charleston, West Virginia, 50 some odd miles away. He is not from Rand. His whole thing is that, or he's not from Huntington. His whole thing is that he's from Rand. He is from Rand, West Virginia. Randy Moss played college football in Marshall and had some of Marshall's best years ever were while Randy Moss was on the team. That's what it is. Randy Moss also committed several crimes as a young man. None of them particularly big. Unironically, a lot of them probably blown pretty out of proportion because of his race. He stomped a kid in high school. The guy made it, but he burst his spleen. Just happens on a fucking ass beating. He said it was a white kid while he was going to high school at a mixed school. He's from a black neighborhood. Rand is pretty much mostly black people. But he had to go to a school that was not in Rand. It was DuPont Middle School or DuPont High School. And that had a mixed population of primarily fucking white kids. And the story goes that the white kid said some racist shit to him or a friend of his, and a friend of his stomped the dude, and fucking Randy Moss got like 2 in on his neck. But Randy Moss was really, really well known as a college athlete, and so it became a whole big thing about him. Then later he got sentenced to like 3 months in prison or whatever for breaking his probation for smoking weed. So very 1990s. The thing is, why Randy Moss, people in West Virginia don't like Randy Moss. People in Huntington kind of do like him because he played for Huntington. When Randy Moss was, he wanted to leave West Virginia, as all people do, and play at any other school. He wanted to go to Notre Dame, then he wanted to go to Florida, but he fucked both of those two things up with the prison charge shit. He said, I don't even fucking like West Virginia. I want to leave West Virginia. While he is being arrested for crimes that are kind of definitely being blown out of proportion because he's in fucking West Virginia. And it's kind of insinuated that right around when he got arrested as a high schooler, you know, it was around the same time as like O.J. Simpson and shit. So it was a whole big fucking thing. It's very complicated. But a lot of people in West Virginia don't like Randy Moss because a lot of people in West Virginia root for WVU as well, which is up in Morgantown on the whole other ass side of the state. Morgantown is frou-frou West Virginia. Sorry, Morgantonians, you guys know what it is. Morgantown is basically a suburb of the District of Columbia. Morgantown's all the way out there. So there's a lot of times where you see like, oh, I'm just going back to my roots in West Virginia. And then like, where are you from in West Virginia? Are you from Morgantown? I am from Morgantown, but I know what it's like to grow up in West Virginia. Like, well, I mean, come on now. Whereas Huntington is in there. Huntington's over by fucking, over on the Kentucky side. That's floodlands. That's the fucking heroin epidemic. That's ground zero shit. Ashland, Kentucky. Fucking surface of the Death Star. If you know, you know. Canovo, Cerrado. I have been through, ladies and gentlemen. I know about the Jack-o'-lantern house. I have visited. Just saying my fucking bona fides. And so, like, Huntington is like West Virginia. Marshall is like that shit. But a lot of people are WVU fans. It doesn't mean like you're a different type of person. People just go in either way. But like, it's still, you know, WVU didn't get picked. And he said, nah, to WVU, and went to Marshall instead. And so, like, there's still just some, like, that's, like, dipshit animosity, you know? But people will post about it because they're like, no, you know, it's the same thing as just, LeBron was just the greatest that's ever lived. Oh, excuse me. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan is. What about Kobe Bryant? You know, fucking, like, one of those dumb fuck conversations that can't even be placed. Is Shaq not one of the top 5 fucking centers in the NBA kind of bullshit? You know, it's a sports conversation. So you get some of that. So a lot of the people from fucking that were over where he went to high school are still pissed that he fucking stomped. That dude's still alive. He's just not a multimillionaire like Randy Ross or Randy Moss. He just got stomped in high school by Randy Moss and then went on to an ignominious fucking future doing whatever the fuck he does now. That guy's just still alive. He's probably mad too.
Even give the restaurant
wasn't even open.
Didn't even get a chance to open the doors, and they were talking about Randy and what he did and how Rand University ran this, ran that.
But also, like, talking about Randy Moss, Rand University is all positive shit, right? There's a 30 for 30. That's awesome. Rand University is crazy. Rand is nowhere. Rand is a nowhere West Virginia town, unincorporated town. It's basically, in the weirdest way to say it, a suburb of Charleston is the closest way for me to articulate it. Just, the way that West Virginia is laid out is wild. It's just down the street. It's on the way to Beckley. What is Rand? It's a place that's on the way to Beckley. Is basically kind of like, I don't think anyone can argue with me about that. When I was a reporter at the Charleston Daily Mail, we're getting into my bona fides here. I had to go to the Rand Community Center to cover whether or not the Rock was going to get moved and when the Rock was going to be moved, because there was one highway that went up into the fucking hills next to Rand where a bunch of the kids lived that had to get to the school. And there was a rock slide during the melt, which happens. All the ice melts, and then there's rock slides. A big rock landed on one of the roads, and they're like, when's the Rock going to be moved? And I sat and covered the very long, very Leslie Knope-esque conversation about when the fucking Rock is going to get moved up. That is Rand. That was like, that's the highlight. There's like a church there that's a little bit beat up. There's a church there that people still go to. They got a 7-Eleven, that kind of thing. All right. It's just a few streets, not much going on, obliterated coal town like a lot of the rest of West Virginia. But Rand University notably has had a lot of fucking A-tier athletes, including a fucking Randy Moss, people that have just gone on to exceptionally high-level careers, at least in pre-professional, amateur sports, if not professional sports like Randy Moss did, or just shown really, really like a whole lot of potential in college sports and high school sports. But unfortunately, like the rigors, so to say, of living in West Virginia get to them, and they end up doing drugs or fucking up or committing a crime, and things kind of fall apart for them, or they just aren't good enough, and like their life kind of disintegrates once they don't have the Friday night lights to look forward to anymore. But it is what it is. But that's a big thing. West Virginia knows that you don't give a fuck about West Virginia. First off, that's one of the other things. West Virginians know. Like, that's what I'm saying in my bona fides. I'm not from West Virginia. My wife is, and so I'm not allowed to talk out. If you guys have noticed, I've corrected Huntington to Huntington a few times, just to let people know I kind of know what I'm fucking talking about. West Virginians know that motherfuckers from not in West Virginia don't give a fuck about West Virginia, and these guys are carpetbaggers. They're not nice enough. He's nice enough not to say it, but these are two fucking carpetbaggers, which is not a racial thing. It's about Northerners that come down to exploit people that they think are fucking too stupid to know better. These guys are carpetbagging. Is really the entire thing. Carpetbaggers. They're coming down here. They're trying to tell West Virginians what they should like and how they should like it, and what's good for them and what's not good for them. And the West Virginians are like, nah. I don't like it. I'm not going to eat it. You know what I mean? And if I don't like you, I'm going to say I don't like you. Like, what do you mean? How do they do things in fucking Philadelphia? What are you talking about?
So that we can talk about hatred back then and not wanting to support.
But did any other business that ever opened down here in West Virginia have to deal with that? Before them doors open, did they have to deal with negativity up and down? But nobody's going to address it.
Yes, more than likely, yes. I worked for the newspapers. I'll just tell you, every fucking restaurant opening is accompanied with people saying, I don't know, it sounds bad. Wish it was something else.
They don't want to address it.
I see your point.
What is he, a YouTuber? He's very online.
At the same time, that's a few isolated people, and those people cuss me on my own page. They come in there and say all kinds of stuff about me. I mean, you're going to have negative people. That's one thing it is in West Virginia. But I think there was a lot of support for Andy. I saw people line clear up the 4th Avenue.
But that wasn't the people. I don't know if that was the people from Huntington, though. I know that was people that I seen on the news that were traveling from New Jersey that love Randy, that just wanted to get a glimpse of him. Charleston that was coming to support. I don't know if that was the community of Huntington. And if we're going to talk Huntington, I don't know if it was that. Because I know when we first posted, and this guy is the director of marketing for Crispy's, that it was a lot of hate for Randy.
But hate, and all y'all know it. Y'all know it.
So, like, I never quite understood. I like the perfect context to use the modern little internet phrase, what is blood waffling about, until I watched this video, and now I'm like, oh, okay. Like, this shit, what the fuck did she say shit? Why did she say any words? Like, what the fuck? I noticed when people from New Jersey came through, they had nothing but nice shit to say on their way out of West Virginia. Some people from Charleston came, and they were supportive. Like, but if we're going to talk Huntington, like, she just locked in. She knew that she was going to say that line, and she was so excited about it. She just jumped on the opportunity and just filled a second of breathing space in that conversation with just dumbass non-points to say nothing. It's awesome.
A lot of people that come into our defense, we love those. We call them crispy lovers.
Yes.
We're not talking about everybody, but first, let's get back on topic.
Okay.
He's Jesse Smollett type, so make things harder for us. Like, dude, your chicken is mid. It's okay.
The stab.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is where all this stemmed from. I went and did that video to discuss, since I'm not the other color, my own color think they can come in this building and disrespect the schedule. My own color think they can walk off the floor when they feel like it. Do you go to Walmart and do that? Do you go to Amazon and do that? You know why? Because they don't tolerate it. They don't tolerate you doing what you want to do. But at Crispy's, they'll say, well, Kirk and Brittany should understand because we the same color. We not going to understand because we hard working. We put that work in. We built a brand from the ground up, so we will never understand what you talking about. This ain't happened by coincidence. We had to hustle and sacrifice to build this brand every day.
Small business
for our
tyrant.
own
If you guys aren't
people
catching the
to come
vibe,
in
small
there
business
and
tyrant.
spread lies on the internet over and over. And what did everybody in the community do? They went right along with the story and said, I'm not going to Krispies because that's what Krispies did. So I said, you know what? Why should we sit back and continue to take this bullying?
The crazy mix up there is he started off with saying there's a lot of racism that wouldn't be happening to me if I was the other color. Like this wouldn't be happening to me. But then he also does say that like his black employees are lazy. And that, like, I don't know, black employees would maybe work harder if he was white. I don't know if that's true. That's not for me really to know about, I guess, because I've never had any black employees as a white guy. I would just assume that most human beings are human beings first. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but like, goddamn, how is that? How is that the white people? How is that the community of Huntington's fault? Huntington is like very fucking. It's white as shit. It's West Virginia. Like all of West Virginia is white as fuck. It's one of the least diverse countries or states in the country. So like, you're gonna have a white clientele. That's not saying there's no black people in Huntington, West Virginia, but like, it's not like a massive population, and especially down there, that's like College Kid Row. You know, so it's going to be a bunch of Marshall students and shit eating over there. Just a ton of fucking white people. Who are you talking about? You know what I mean? Where it's the community is the one that's coming after you. Because, like, are you talking about your sales? Or just like, were you only employing black people somehow in Huntington? And, like, the black community of Huntington's trying to fuck you up? Like, it's just the most gibberish shit ever. The only thing I can 100% understand from this is my man is like, I am a victim. No one has ever worked harder than me, and it's fucked up that everyone's treating me badly. Like, it's the only thing I can
Why
get
should
from
we
it.
sit here? Why should we do that? So it's good for you to speak out, but when we speak out,
Tyler's covering a
speak on
ketchup
it, it's
fascist.
a problem.
Absolutely.
Y'all want to flip it into, oh, it's a black and white thing. I never once mentioned. I said, because I'm not the other color, we don't get the same respect. That's from Indians to Chinese to Caucasian to the next.
There are 3 races, all right? And it's the other 2 races, 4 races. There's white, black, and then the other 2 food groups in fast food, Chinese and Indian. Mexicans get fucking dunked on. Lo siento, disculpa. Sorry, get fucking dunked on, Mexicans. You're not real. Your food group does not exist. You have never owned businesses or restaurants. My man, the food truck erasure is crazy right now. All I can think about bringing that up to is that there's a fucking birria thing that like I'm dying. Every time I try to go to it, it's not open, and I fucking want it so bad because I can smell it cooking from my front porch. But like,
That's the facts. I never said white or black because this is not what it was about. It was about not being
you know this guy deep fries Tyson's chicken strips.
that we deserve.
I don't even know if they're the good kind because my dad actually works for Tyson.
We need to focus on the fried chicken. We came here to sell fried
There's
chicken
good
and
stuff.
chicken and waffles.
Yes.
Not to talk about Randy in college.
Yes.
Not to talk about whatever had happened. We're not here to talk about that. This is Crispy's chicken, not Randy Moss.
I see what you meant about getting worse. It gets worse still.
We came
We're not
to
even
give
there
you
yet.
a great product.
Great packaging.
And we
I gotta
also
let it
let me
run
tell
so I
you
can
something.
finish.
We came here to hire within our community. But what did our community do? They tore us down, like they always do. The African American community, we are known to tear each other down. The Chinese is not known for it. The Europeans, nobody else is known for it. That's why.
Shout out China. Shout out China. China, famously nice to the Chinese. Who's ever wore the 3 kingdoms? It was China and then 2 other losers. No, there was no Chinese. Famously, they get together. They're like bugs. They're like a bug people. They can't argue. They can't get angry at each other. I've never seen a Chinese have an argument. Have you? Fucking most racist shit you can say. Because if I close my eyes and I'm just thinking like, what if a white guy was saying this? Like we're already in the pot. Like if it was a white dude saying that, you're in the pot. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got other white people coming after me. It's not like the Chinese. They all work together. The Indians, they all work together. we're gonna get a little bit more racist with Indian people here in just a second, just so you guys have a heads up. But like, do you understand? It's still racist if you do it. By the way, I don't care if you're racist to white people as a white person because it's water off a duck's back. But I'm the duck because I'm white. If I'm not, don't do it to other non-white races. Don't be racist to other races of people. That's bad. I know that should go without saying, but just don't generalize and stereotype whole ethnicities. I know it feels like it's okay because, and I know you're in your mind, you're saying like they do it. I know they can say it, but you can't say it. But I hear them say it all the time. I know, and I know this argument might sound familiar, but you just can't say it. You just can't say that.
You got all these 7-Elevens and all these franchise companies because the Indians stick together. I mean, the Indians, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying Indians. They stick
Whatever
together.
race.
Whatever race. And this ain't being racist when I'm talking. We're talking about we need to
Trump
come
impression
together.
got you off
our
guard.
African
Sorry,
American community. If this was the time to get on the air and I had to say that to get the attention, then boom, hey, well done.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can say my piece that we've been disrespected since we've been here within our own community, our own race. I can call up a staff member right now.
But here's the other thing. This is not your community. It's not. Black people, if you're from Philadelphia, like black people in Philadelphia, I don't know anything about Philadelphia. I've never been there. But I'll just tell you right now, black people in West Virginia are West Virginia black people. They got their own shit. That's their community that they're from. Like you can't go to like Rand and think that you're gonna fit in. They're gonna be like, where the fuck are you from? You're like, oh, what? Like I'm black. Like, are we not? Like, no. Where are you from? Up north? Like, you know what? They're gonna be like, where the fuck are you from? Like, you don't have an accent. You don't say any of the words right. You're not from here. That's not your community. It's not just because you're the same color as them. That doesn't mean what you think it means. Like, it's a different place. And if you think it does, they're going to get mad at you because you're not from where they're from and you don't know anything about them. You just happen to be the same skin color as them and think that they should like behave a certain way, which is not a good way to set up introducing yourself to any fucking community. You know what I mean? Because you shouldn't do it. Maybe there's some stuff that you could probably agree on, fair, but like, you got to understand, West Virginia is West Virginia. It is not easy ass states to live in. If you're poor in Philly, you have to understand you don't know what poverty is compared to being poor in West Virginia as a white person. As a black person, you have the racism on top. It's West Virginia, bro. Like Rand is a strip of tiny houses off the side of a road, and that's it. It like there's a mountain and then there's the Kanawha River, and that's it, bro. That's it. It's not like you can leave that area and then go somewhere really fucking nice. You know what I mean? You can't like leave like wherever the fucking hood is in Philly. You can go to downtown Philadelphia. If you're in Rand, you can go to Charleston. The closest airport, if you're from fucking Rand, is Yeager Airport, which is built on a mountain and sometimes slides off the side of it. Like, bro, whatever. I'm just telling you, if you're not from West Virginia, if you're not from a fucking state that's fucked up, like a rough state, and you're from some like New England, if you're from fucking New England, just don't try to fucking think that you understand anybody from outside of New England. Y'all on some other ancient rich people shit. I don't even understand. The Midwest does not fuck with you. Like the Rust Belt doesn't understand. But West Virginia, even I'm from fucking Cincinnati, Ohio is considered like fucking like provincial and shit to people. West Virginia motherfuckers are like, y'all Cincinnati people have it easy. And you're right, he's really the Kanye of fried chicken.
African American girl, and she can tell you what we go through.
It's the same arguments that I hear, like when Kanye West is screaming at a fucking camera. Like they have to go to the same church, whatever church that is.
They made it a black and white thing,
and my man right here, fucking, he is terrified. He is actually shaking this entire debate.
If you felt like it was a race thing, then in my opinion, it hit your heart. So maybe it is a little bit of racism within yourself. Mm-hmm. Because if it touched you that much, that must be you.
I said something racist, and you thought it was racist. That's on you. He said he unironically did. Rev says that's holy projection, and Batman.
This is what I think. If there's any problems with Krispies, this is okay. I've eaten her. Today was the 5th time. I've eaten her 4 times. Great reviews every time.
I'm from Philly as long as you don't come with the weird shit. We're mostly cool when you say that you're from somewhere else. People are curious.
But the problem I have with
which
it
is the same with like,
the last time I went in there, I had some patients. I had a couple of my patients with me. We're on community integration, and it's this whole not taking cash or credit. Not taking cash thing is a real problem to a lot of people in West Virginia. It's a real problem to me because it's just the way I've been ripped off a couple times by credit cards and credit card fraud and stuff. So I'm a little leery of it. So I personally prefer to use cash. And the other issue is just people in West Virginia know what they like, and it's ketchup. But I think that's why there was a lot of it's a customer service issue is what I think the problem. People in West Virginia are used to a different thing. I've been a manager. I was a manager for 20 years at different stores. Matter of fact, I managed the 7-Eleven down by Marshall. Randy used to come into my store a couple times a day. But I've always been like, the customer is right. If the customer wants something, I'm going to go out of the way to make sure the customer has it. And I just felt like, I just wanted a simple thing like a packet of ketchup. I mean, it's just, ketchup may be a very West Virginia thing, but they know what they like, and they were kind of disappointed, I think.
He's not even looking at the man while he's talking, which is crazy. Neither of them are. When people are trying to earnestly speak to you, you should look them in the eyeballs. And not look off to the side like you don't have a fucking time in the world. It's crazy. Like, the tableau is psychotic. But also another thing, and this goes to crazy because he's talking about like the black community and stuff. Like this fella is, but you find out here that they don't take cash at this establishment. It is a credit card only establishment, brick and mortar in downtown Huntington, West Virginia, which alongside a lot of other things, because this dude at some point talks about growing up in the hood or something. First off, like if you have a no cash business and you're from the hood, like who's going to shop there? Because you know what I mean. Like if you're from a shady neighborhood, you kind of have to do cash because of certain characters that come shop from you. Like also, you're just not selling anything to anybody without a credit card. West Virginia has more people that deal in cash than a lot of other places because of various reasons. A lot of it is just West Virginians are old as fuck. There's massive brain drain in West Virginia, so your customer base tends to be older, and older people do not like, older, 70s, 80s, 90s. Older people from that generation do not like doing business outside of cash. They just like to be cash. They're from back before when I was a kid, when I was like 10, you know what I mean? People would get mad at you if you tried to pay for anything in line with a credit card because it took too long. They like cash sales, cash through. So they only do cash. You have a major place in a downtown area, especially in fucking West Virginia, but almost any downtown area where you're going to trend a higher concentration of impoverished people, a higher concentration of migrants, a higher concentration of indigent folk, you are going to have a lot more cash sales. And you are going to miss every fucking cash sale that you don't accept. And the cash is crazy backwards. Now, they started this business, as I said, at Eagles Stadium. And once you get that in perspective, everything will start to make sense a little bit more. Cashless sales make sense at a ballpark because a ballpark in a major metro not taking cash is probably fine because everybody that's there has to have a fuckload of money these days because ball game tickets ain't fucking cheap. They ain't fucking cheap at all. They're like fucking, 60, 70, 80, 120, 400 fucking dollars. Probably those people are going to have credit cards because it's going to trend richer. Also, at ballparks, the condiments and soft drinks, these guys also complain about having to have soft drinks. Condiments and soft drinks tend to be provided as part of the overall collective, the overall collective of the ballpark itself. You guys think if you've been to, a football game, baseball game, you buy stuff from the stand, but then they have like condiment sections outside. So if they got used to and built their business model around being in a stadium where people are used to, you have a high concentration of rich people, you get burst customers and massive, massive bursts of money because stadiums are pretty fucking lucrative. You can also ask people to work weird ass fucking hours because you're only asking them to work during games. So yeah, like being like, oh, my people don't want to work. People don't want to work. Those are the people. I'm like, is it weird work hours? Are you trying to get people to work second, third shift? Second shift is a hard shift to get people to work. Third shift is even fucking harder unless it's a specialty shift at something like a ballpark where it's only going to be that one time. That's usually somebody's second job that they're picking up. Yeah, I'm going to go do 12 hours at the ballpark this weekend. I'm going to do 18 hours at the ballpark, 6 hours at the ballpark, working nights, doing the fucking hot dog stand to pick up shit on top of my real job, right? Because if you're not paying real job money, motherfuckers aren't going to treat you like a real job. You're a stopping point on the way to actual money. That's just, you're not doing something to build loyalty. Why the fuck would they have loyalty to you? If you want to do cash sales, you have to have a bank account in West Virginia too. You have to have a bank account in a West Virginia bank because you have to take, at the end of the day, you have to bring your literal take, your bags. Anybody, shout out all my cashiers out there who've had to prep your bag at the end of the night. In bars, in restaurants, in retail, you have a little blue bag. It's like this. It's a deposit bag. And you fill it up from the register and you go and you drop that off at the bank. You lock some of it up. You take the rest of it. It's either that night or sometimes it's once a week, whatever. You take that shit to the bank. You literally, when you say take that to the bank, to be able to take it to the bank, you have to have a bank account there. If they don't have a bank account with a bank that's in Huntington or represented by Huntington, because their business is in fucking Philadelphia, they probably just didn't want to start a bank account so that they would have to do cash sales and bring their cash back and forth from the bank. That is my suspicion, because otherwise you got to pocket it, which is a whole different thing. And if I remember correctly, this might not be true everywhere, but generally, if you do cash sales, part of your business insurance is going to be locking up your money and protecting it from theft. Banks, phenomenally well known as one of the best places to lock up money. Tills, one of the worst. So every once in a while I'm walking around because like I work from home now and I got this gig. But even when I was working second shift, I'm walking around. It's like noon, and I'm off work. People looking at me like, I bet he's got what is he doing? Is this guy lazy? I'm like, no, motherfucker. I'm the opposite of lazy. I have a second shift job. I got to go to work at 6 p.m. You motherfucker, I'll kill you. Don't look at me funny.
First when they didn't
going in at 3 and cut bagels.
So you would stop coming from getting amazing product and amazing ambiance and something that Randy decided to bring back to West Virginia, where he was born, over a condiment?
I got to stop this again. I got to stop it again. By the way, if you are not talking industry with somebody, if you're not in industry, having an industry talk with another person in your industry, never use the word product to describe what you make. Talk about the product itself. First off, because it's bad sales. It's just bad sales. Bad sales. Nobody gets hungry and goes and tries to buy product to eat. They go and they buy a chicken sandwich. So describe what you make so that people know. It sounds professional and stuff, but the reason it sounds professional to you is probably because you were talking to an industry person and so you were talking product. That's okay. When you're talking inside baseball, you can use inside baseball terms like product to speed up the conversation. When you're essentially a marketing manager trying to do brand survival, describe what you sell. Describe what you sell, because first off, it might make somebody hungry enough to come eat it, but also you don't sound like a sociopath talking about product. If I'm talking about books and shit, right? I don't even want to say it, but if I'm talking about books and stuff with other people, and I'm like, yeah, in industry, yeah, we have a few different products and stuff. Like, this is what we kind of do, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's a good product, blah, 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 whatever. The Audible, this, that, audiobooks. You can do that. But if I was talking, if I went and gave a speech, like I introduced my book and I started saying, I think this is a good product, this is Westside guy, would I not sound like a fucking sociopath? So just don't ever do that. Just so you guys know, if you're in business, if you're in sales.
Well, over tomato and sugar?
Well, actually, it was not the really. I can do without ketchup.
Okay, so let's just sit in that.
But we're not
product.
I'm saying the product was good, but I'm not saying it wasn't amazing. I mean, it's chicken. Chicken can only be so good in my book, but it's good. It's a good sandwich. And I gave a good review.
Slit their throats on that
5 times now. I've said I've eaten it 5 times, and the waffles were amazing. But I can't eat waffles.
Well, there's your answer. You said it right there.
Waffles are amazing. The chicken is amazing.
Why do they get the angriest man alive to be their brand manager? I think these two are the owners. The way that they talk about themselves, I think these two are the fucking owners of the place as well. I think they went to seminars. Like, this guy talks like a dude who went to like a few like a power seminar or something and picked up like phrases and like feelings from it, and so just started articulating himself as having like the jobs within his company. Like, I'll say, like, I do the music production. Like, I am the audio engineer for the Westside Fairy Tales. I'm the audio engineer for Westside Tyler Live. But I would probably introduce myself as just the owner, but it kind of makes it feel, some people I think do that because it kind of makes it feel like their company is a bigger company than it really is. And I think that's what he's doing. I think it's just these two because it's two locations. It's in a fucking stadium and a brick and mortar in Huntington. It's not exactly like, I don't know who the other person could be other than Randy Moss as a financier, and I don't think he gives a fuck about the day-to-day operations of Chickaboom or Crispies.
So so you're diabetic. So you're coming from a little bit of a bias because you're diabetic. So you can't eat the chicken every day and you can't eat the waffles every day because you're diabetic.
Forgot about this line.
Diabetic, so I can't really.
So you're diabetic. So you're coming from a little bit of a bias because you're diabetic. So you can't eat
the debate bro maneuver. Dude, Destiny ain't shit. Fuck Vosh. Hassan eat fucking ass. Lex Friedman podcast suck a fucking dick, bro. Sam Cedar, move aside. There's a true debate bro in here. I have never heard someone accuse a diabetic of having anti-diabetes bias, but she did it. She went the extra mile. She made it happen. What the fuck? There's a moment where you have to live so far up in your own ass where you okay yourself with saying that phrase that you have to know you're never going to see daylight again. To call a fucking diabetic biased for his anti-diabetes eating habits is wild. No debate bro on earth has that level of fucking juice. She outdid them all. Name them.
chicken every day and you can't eat the waffles every day because you're diabetic. However, like you said, let's stick in the fact that the product is amazing. A lot of times,
Product's
Crispies.
good. I'm sorry, but let's call it very good. Not amazing.
Well, the
She
product is
almost
amazing.
fucking lost her
That bag is
mind.
amazing. That box is amazing. You've never seen that done in any fast food chain that exists currently. Because you get a paper bag and a wrap up in the sandwich.
Like, they don't care about you.
Kanye West,
Burger King. Am
fried
I
chicken.
alligator?
But here, in a
I'm
way,
just
well,
asking.
listen, this. You can see the video I made today, and I was getting very embarrassed because I was eating, and I actually had trouble getting the sandwich out of the.
Well, everybody
the box.
says that they have trouble getting the sandwich out of a box. So what I'm going to do is, or I'll have Kirk do, is do a review on how to properly get a crispy sandwich out of the box.
Simple.
Because this is an amazing box right here. Okay, this took time. This is the brainchild of somebody to took time to say, you know what, I'm going to give you this alumina lining so that your product can stay hot inside of here.
got
So I
nothing to
will be
say
doing a
with this.
video featuring, and you guys can stay tuned at Crispy's Chicken on Instagram and also on Facebook on how to properly eat a crispy sandwich and how to properly get it out of the box. But nevertheless, for someone to stop coming to get a great chicken sandwich, as you would say, I would say is amazing. For sugar and tomato
If
ketchup.
you're just watching and you have no idea what the fuck just happened, the crispy sandwich doesn't come in a bag or a box. It's a fried chicken place where it's a fried chicken sandwich that comes in a box that's just big enough to fit the fried chicken sandwich in. So, and it's slopped up in sauce and shit. It's a saucy fucking chicken sandwich with all kinds of toppings on it. So when you pull it out to try, you can't get your fingers in because it's perfectly slotted in there. It's not like a KFC box that's long and you have like a lot of room to move around. It's just directly fucking in the middle of it. And it's as tall as the sandwich too. So it's just, there is nothing, it's just a perfect encapsulation of the sandwich. It also doesn't have a bag. It has another cardboard boxy shaped thing that you slide the box in too. So it just perfectly fits inside of it. Not only does this poor old diabetic man, Alligator Jackson, have trouble pulling the fucking box or the sandwich out of the box, maybe the box out of the bag as well, but so many people have complained about it that it's a major issue for the company. You literally have, for no reason, she said, get fucking dunked on. We have a fucking box that nobody can get out of, and like multiple people said we cannot get the sandwich out of the box comfortably. What the fuck is going on? Why don't you have ketchup? Why did I have to pay for this with a credit card?
That's ridiculous to me. And also, Crispy's doesn't discriminate. You can BYOK, bring your own ketchup. And in regards to the
BYOK,
to the
baby,
cashless
bring your
thing,
own ketchup.
I mean, pretty much this is 2024. Everybody has a debit card. I understand this is West Virginia. Things might be a little bit slower paced, etc. However, everybody has a debit card, and everybody doesn't realize the reason why we went to cashless.
Did they ever ask, Alligator, did they ever ask why we do that?
They don't know why.
No. They want to.
Do they care?
They want to just cram the business.
No.
Because they don't take cash.
No, they don't care. No one gives a fuck about how you operate your business as a customer. No one ever fucking gives a shit. It's very hard. And you don't really want them to. You don't ever want them to care. Because you want them to just buy shit and fucking leave. All right, like that's the thing. You don't want a full restaurant. That's what I always said. This is how you can tell if a restaurant is good. It's not because the restaurant's full. It's because the restaurant the restaurant has receipts. If you see the fucking register person can barely leave because they're ringing up so many receipts, that's a good restaurant. They're on their way in. They're on their way the fuck out. All right, you got your food, you fed, you got to go back, get the fuck out of here. New people in, blah, 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 again and again and again and again and again and again. She just said, "Well, fuck my customers. Do you even care about me? No, I'm here for chicken and to fucking leave. Like, yeah, you're a perfect customer. Here's your chicken. Give me your money. Get the fuck out."
Did you ever once know that maybe we had
Fuck no.
a high time rate?
Okay.
Did you ever think that we was losing money every week because the register was coming up short? Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
No. What you say?
No, that is what I thought. That is what I thought. But I know.
So why not support because of a business might be struggling because of theft? Why not support because a business might be struggling because of short staff? And we're not the only business that might have been struggling because of short staff. A lot of businesses in the restaurant industry has been struggling.
People
because
just
of short
don't want to
staff
work
due to
anymore.
COVID. After
These
COVID,
aren't new problems.
exactly. So why is it that we're being penalized for something that we're being innovative about?
It's
saying
like convenience in West Virginia.
and that is convenient to be able to go place your own order, swipe your card, and be done with it.
That's it.
That
Go
is
take the cash.
convenient.
I mean, that's Philadelphia, and that's
No. That's everywhere. That's not just Philadelphia. That is convenience. That is what happens when you go to Walmart. Now you mean to tell me? Now I see a lot of West Virginians in Walmart. What happens when you go to Walmart? They go, they scan their own items, they swipe their card, and they walk out of Walmart's door.
I bet you 80%.
A lot of businesses are going to self checkout.
So you don't think that's the reason that people quit going, and that's what I mean.
It's not the reason why we think, but it's the simple fact that everybody here is making a big deal about it. Like, they have self-checkout at Walmart. A lot of people go to self-checkout at Walmart. I see older people in West Virginia going there. I see younger people. I see a lot of people going to self-checkout. Why is it a big deal at Crispy's?
Just for the record, self-checkout at Walmart does take cash.
Of course.
Right.
You murderer. The Jamie on this program is a fucking 10 out of 10. God damn it. Yes. If you didn't know, bougie ass, carpet bagging ass fucking Philadelphia motherfucker, you fucking northern piece of shit. God damn. Walmart takes cash, you dipshit. They got fucking immigrants buying stuff there. What the fuck are you talking about? Kroger takes cash. All the self-checkout places take cash. Everywhere that sells food takes cash because sometimes motherfuckers, they got credit cards. If a little kid wants to fucking buy something from you, I got $10. I'm gonna go buy myself a little thing today. You can fucking go to your place and buy it with his $10 cash. Kid ain't got a credit card. That kid, leave the kid with only a limited amount of money to lose, even if they're up like 14, 15. I'll give you a fucking 60, 70 bucks. All right, kid? Like, come back. I don't know what the fuck kids get for money these days. I didn't get shit. I got my lawnmower money. But you know what I mean? You can't expect some, like, why would anybody take your concerns about your fucking business seriously when you don't even know how the businesses in the fucking area act? You don't even know how they make their money. Yeah, of course. What do you mean? Fucking, you think everybody's checking out at the self-checkout with cards? Bro, have you not seen the lady with 2 screaming kids? You have to, like, pull out her food stamps and her WIC and be like, shamefully, like, okay, I've got this much WIC for fucking, like, milk and eggs and stuff. Go off to the side. Somebody fucking paying for this, that, and the other in fucking cash. Like, dude, just like a whole little crew of dudes, fucking little Mexican guys, fucking partnered up, all filthy from doing roofing or whatever the fuck all day, buying a bunch of goddamn sodas and whatever, and the one dude's got like chat, fucking like popping off the bill to everyone so they can buy lunch at the fucking Walmart. Have you not lived? Have you not gone outside? Would you be stunned to find out you have fucking cash checkout at Lowe's? But it's wild, man. Like, yeah, of course they take fucking cash. They take food stamps, bro. They got fucking EBT. Can you guys take EBT? Do you know what EBT is?
Hey, okay, yeah, that's true. But it's the convenience that you can just use your card. Boom, swipe and
WIC
go.
mentioned, not that WIC.
You're saying why is it an
WIC.
issue, and that's what everybody's kind of thinking. Like, I know a guy named Beckett Goo that a lot of people out there may know. He's getting ready to open.
Are bank cards not common in America? They're plenty of common. They're around all the places, but like, especially in places like West Virginia, where there's just sort of not like the bad kind of libertarianism aspect of it, but like West Virginia is like Montani Semper Liberi, like fucking mountaineers, fucking are always free. Like there's a places like that, places out in the fucking boonies in America, motherfuckers just don't trust the government or corporations or companies or technology and shit in general, and they just won't have those. They know it exists. They don't even fucking want it, and they'll tell you like, yeah, I keep all my money literally under my mattress. I don't give a shit. Or if you're involved in criminal activity and that's how you make your money, you're only in cash. Sorry, shout out all my fucking dealers out there. It's how they gonna buy shit. Like, you want fried chicken, like, you have to bring in some crusty ass crackhead 20s. Fucking immigrants can't get debit cards and stuff, or like if they're illegal immigrants, you know, because it takes different bits of identification to get those cards that you probably don't necessarily have access to. So it's not everybody. Most people do have credit cards. Like, it's a majority of people have credit cards, debit cards, bank cards, ATM cards, whatever, what have you. But like, there is still a substantial population of people that don't use those things. And that population is highly concentrated in downtown urban areas and out in the rural areas, which fucking Huntington is a perfect commingling of both. Huntington is all of West Virginia has a vibe that is simultaneously extremely like out there, like boonies out there, while also even being like metropolitan. Like, it's its own type of very, very specific vibe. And like, you're more likely, unironically, to run into a place that's like, we don't take credit cards. You are to a place that says we don't take cash. Unless they like literally put that note up that morning because their fucking register got stolen that morning. You know what I mean? Like, we can't take cash today because the fucking till was literally shattered in the fucking night. We will fix that by tomorrow.
A place over in South Point.
Shai Halud.
And the first thing
Cash is harder to
people
trace.
was, like,
Tax man
asking
can't come
him
for
is,
if there's
"You
no
have
record." It's
ketchup?"
true.
We'll have ketchup all over the place.
Well, of course, everybody's
That's what people want.
Of course, everybody riding the wave of
Is it
Crispies.
easier just to give it to them?
Everybody's riding the wave of Crispies, just like Roosters did, and everybody else was doing, trying to create the fake beef when we first got here. Let's speak on that. When did anybody speak on the guy that created a fake tweet? And we didn't even sue him. We didn't even sue him.
You know how many fake
That's one of the like Kanye lines that I'm talking about. We even talk about the guy that made the fake tweet. Was it fake? Oh no, I think he impersonated him. That's an impersonator. We didn't even sue him. And I could have taken him for everything he's worth. Kim, call me back and tell me if I still have the number for that lawyer. I'm gonna bust him up.
Alligator Jackson. There's one on Instagram where they have my long hair.
But why y'all not
Tyler, I've said this
addressing
before,
him?
but Bill
You
Burr
can't
and
really-
Trump are
I mean,
fighting.
They
They
pick
pick
who
who they
that
want to
law.
address.
Check
They
out
pick who
that.
they want to address. And who they want to address right now is who? Crispies.
New product that you had coming in today, was it ice or something?
The water ice?
The water ice.
Is it a radio show? It's a
I
podcast.
have shared like when you have new products, but I pretty much stayed away from any of the, since the whole ketchup controversy kind of became old, I moved on.
Why is
Okay,
ketchup
you-
a
you
controversy?
really think this is
It's
about ketchup?
ridiculous.
Let's be
It's
honest.
ridiculous.
It'd
About
just be
ketchup.
easy just to give them ketchup.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Alligator Jack. We gave them soda because if we want to be clear here, in
don't even sell
Philadelphia, we didn't sell soda.
We had our own
sell
in-house
our
juice.
own branded everything. We have our own branded water. We have our own branded juice. We only offer strawberry lemonade, fruit punch, and
Bro, bragging that you sell water is not the flex you think it is.
iced tea. And that was in our own cans. And Randy asks us all the time, when are we going to bring back those cans? We didn't even sell soda.
We had no interest in selling soda.
Here's
This is a
the
radio
thing
show,
that
their
tell me
audio's
at
kind of
7-Eleven. It's, you know, when we have training and all that, and I was a
I already
manager
answered.
for them, biggest company in the world, they used to say, hey, if you got a convenience store on every corner, 4 corners right there, if everybody sold everything for the right price, the
I'm gonna let
same
this guy
price
run.
and the
I saw a
same
good question, but I'm
products,
gonna let this guy run.
what's going to determine which convenience store you go to? And it's obviously the answer is customer service. And people in West Virginia are just used to people giving them what they want.
West
And
Virginia's
that's what-
awesome.
that's where they're
Entitlement.
gonna
If a
spend-
company can fail because of
capitalism.
ketchup, if a company can fail from ketchup, where they disregard everything that we built from the ground up, located in the Eagle Stadium, an African American company that came from the bottom, that struggled every step of the
He's
way.
losing it.
Like somebody told me today, a great mentor of mine called me and said, I got a phone call. I got a phone call about some stuff on Facebook out of Charleston, West Virginia. Great man. He said, Kurt, you have every right to defend and say what you please. Because if it was
The testimony right here is crazy. Like, my man's in church. Get somebody come up and testify. I had a moment.
me, I would never allow nobody to disrespect and bully my business. And you know what he told me? Kurt, you got to remember, you ain't meant to be on that corner in West Virginia. You ain't meant to get
Mr.
out the
Krabs
door.
ass chicken doing
You
that.
ain't meant to be on top.
100%.
And this is coming from a white man that called me.
Isn't that what it is? Hey, SpongeBob. And they come to me and they say, Mr. Krabs, you don't offer any ketchup. And I said, I do offer ketchup and you can't have any. You don't need any ketchup. Our motto is you bring your BYOK, bring your own ketchup. But they said at the Eagles Stadium, we didn't sell our own soft drinks, but we had branded water, which is crazy. Nobody needs to make him more fucking plastic bottles of fucking. You put a sticker on it. We got stickers. We got labels. We got a label maker. But the stadium has its own fucking fountain drink machines, more than likely, and you can just go and use those instead. So these guys just don't even know how to operate a brick and mortar restaurant business, which is the ultimate summation of it.
So I asked him, so let me ask you this. Am I supposed to be silent?
Doesn't soda have crazy margins? Yes, which is why these guys don't know how to run a business. Because I'll just tell you that straight up, because they wouldn't be doing this right now. Dude, chicken joint is the easiest, probably of almost all restaurants to start. I would say the easiest, the only thing that could possibly be easier would be cafe. And that's not to say it's like simple, like I'm not demeaning it. I'm just telling, I grew up in the restaurant industry. My dad literally works for Tyson Chicken. He's a fucking sales team trainer. My dad was a chef. We had a little, don't worry, it failed catering company. So I know how fucking, and yeah, the best margins are in water sales, which is soda and coffee. Because coffee doesn't cost fucking shit to make. It's water and the cost of coffee beans, which is a great overhead. Soda is basically the same, if not way less. Because soda you buy, once you had the machine in place, and you can find used machines or really, really cheap ones. Usually they try to fucking put the machine on with like selling you a program, basically like, hey, you want to buy, whatever, 10,000 liters, a year's worth of refills, and we'll give you the soda machine, but you can't use anyone's soda but ours, that kind of thing. And so you get the big boxes. And yeah, to make a single liter of soda, right, is like pennies, if that. Usually the price of the cup is actually more expensive than the cost of the soda, because you're selling water. And the water is basically negligible to almost fucking free. I mean, compared to everything else. So at the stadiums sell the soda, first off, because they don't trust you to bring in air gas and shit and have the fucking CO2 regulators and all that double checked and have the tubes double checked. They can't let people get sick like that. It's a whole health inspection thing. So if I had to guess, 99% of the fucking stadiums probably do their own soda. So these guys didn't know how to do it. They don't know anything about it because all they did was make the chicken, which is fine. And that's what it is. So chicken is the lowest overhead of the proteins, as far as I know. One of the easiest to prepare because it doesn't have a shitload of like blood and stuff. You don't have to do a lot of butchering with it. And it usually comes prepped. You get chicken breast in a big box. It's like this fucking big, 20 pounds of it. And 20 pounds of chicken is fucking easily turned it 4 ounces or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like the size of your average like chicken serving. It's like a lot. It's a quarter pound of chicken, 4 ounces. Extrapolate that out to a 20-pound box, and you're making, that's fucking, you turn whatever, $150, $200 worth of unprocessed or uncooked chicken. And if you get the pre-processed stuff, it's a whole different thing. I know this industry, by the way. My dad talks about this all the time. You can fucking extrapolate that out and basically turn a 100-pound box of chicken into like $2,000, $5,000, depending on how it works. You know what I'm saying? And you have to cut down on those margins for shipping and all that stuff too. But that's a good margin, because also a dead 100-pound box of chicken is not going to be like a dead 100-pound box of steak. If you leave it out, if it gets rotten, if it gets funky, and you got to pitch it. Who made them do this interview? Was this court ordered? Was it at gunpoint? No way they thought this was going to help things. They volunteered for it, apparently.
He said, Kirk, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
half an hour
right
max to
about what
finish.
you're saying. If the time is now to say it, then say it. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete the posts. Because I said the truth hurts to people.
Pigs don't need much. They don't, but chickens need even less.
I said something, I was speaking on something particular, but they took it and twisted it in 300 ways, and everybody, they couldn't wait. Oh yeah, that's the end of Christmas. That's this, that. You missing the point. And it ain't gonna never change. Nobody will ever understand what African Americans go through every day when trying to build their own business. You can't speak on what we go through, because you don't go through what we go through. Them Indians don't go through it, them Chinese don't go, you know why? Because Chinese got their own bank. Dominions be having their own banks. Where's the African American owned banks? That's funding African American companies. That's why we're here in the situation. That's
He
why.
just sneezed away from Kanye West and said, I tried to buy my own bank and they said no.
We can't get past our own
Thank you for
people,
the
our own
£5
staff, tearing us down every day. We can't get past that. We're only speaking the facts. Again, we never made this about one individual. We said, you can go on Facebook and Instagram and see all the negativity, but you also can go on Facebook and Instagram and see a lot of positivity. And those
Chicken
people
thighs,
that
coffee found cheaper, cooks fairly
those
cheap.
people
Yeah.
that respect.
That's one of the secrets. Chinese food, Chinese chicken is very often chicken thighs. You can buy a big ass fucking bag of them. Big ass fucking bag of them and like I won't get into it right now, but you can buy a big ass fucking bag of chicken thighs and pot cook them and pull all the bones out of it and just have like chopped chicken, right? You take that once it's like sort of semi pre-cooked and then you could throw that in sauce in a fucking like wok with some rice and shit. And then you got like basic fucking Chinese takeout chicken. I think sometimes you're supposed to take the thighs out. I think it depends on it too.
What we have done. Those people that didn't say, oh, because Randy's breaking the business, let's talk about what he did in college.
Baking soda or meat tenderizer.
We don't want to mess with those type of people. We don't want you in them crispy doors. If you feel in your heart that it was racism, then we don't want you in the door because clearly it's a little bit in your heart that there's racism in you. Because we wasn't talking
crazy.
about you. We was talking about the struggle that an African-American company go through within our own doors that we deal with 7 days a week. You don't deal with what we deal with 7 days a week. You don't know it. But you sit there and can dare get on Facebook and say, well, I ain't gonna support them. Oh, that's the end of Crispies. Man, I don't hear y'all talking about that tile place up the street, the peddler, the next place, and the next place, because I guarantee if you go over there and ask the peddler, did he ever deal with any of this type of crap?
Dude, you as the peddler's fucking awesome. Someone else mentioned that it's just a good ass restaurant. Peddler fucking slaps. And it's like they do give you ketchup.
I think he's gonna tell you no.
You don't
He's
need
gonna
it
tell
though.
you no. If you go next to that Chinese store, they're gonna tell you the same. If you go to Roosters, they're gonna tell you the same. You know what somebody wrote on Facebook today and said, if it was another player and if it wasn't Randy, you wouldn't have them problems.
They said Randy could give it out for free and people in Huntington would still complain.
They still find something to complain. And we ain't talking about everybody. We just talking about the ones that's negative.
Yep.
Well,
There's people
I got
everywhere,
these
though.
People that hate me on my own page, man.
Speak
I mean,
on
that's
it.
just
Step up and
people-
say something. Don't sit there and
Yeah.
don't say nothing.
Okay.
How dare you take bullying? How dare you sit there and let somebody talk about you, Alligator Jack?
Yes.
Speak up.
Yep.
It's time for businesses and whoever else to speak up. Don't let the internet bully you.
This
'cause the
can't
internet
be
gives
real.
people a chance to voice their opinion. People that sitting in a room, a room that don't come out the room, but quick to say something on Twitter.
My man
Yeah.
is
Or quick to
malding.
say- use an internet
Like
warrior.
literally
Use
malding in
quick to
front
say
of
something behind them, that
normies
phone.
is psychotic.
Because that's the only way you can get your point across, and they love negativity. They
They'll
love feeding off of negativity. But they want other people to
Hassan
encourage them.
level,
They
like,
want to feel, oh, I
freak
was
out.
accepted because I said something about them, and everybody
Little
liked it.
old man.
Everybody liked it. So, my comment got across, so you feel good that day. You feel good that day that your point got across, huh? Because you got 20 likes. Your 10 seconds of fame. We're not gonna tolerate y'all using Crispies to do that. We came here, and this is for the people in Huntington that love Randy.
Yep.
Everybody don't love
Sabu
Randy. Let's
Jete,
keep it real, Alligator Jack.
good recommendation.
People don't love me.
No, we ain't talking about you. We talking about
Am I referring to
the facts.
Brining? No.
Nobody loves
Because
that.
we can go
It's
back to
something else.
Marshall,
I
and
have
I'm
to talk
sure.
about it later.
Not even that. Y'all know we ain't even gonna make this ain't about Randy. This is Crispies. This ain't even about Randy. But I'm gonna tell you this: you can go back in them archives and it'll show you. It'll show you all the hate that was coming here before them doors even open. They said they wasn't gonna support before them doors even open.
Yep.
But whoever told people that we wasn't doing good? Because we're doing very well. From the Huntington people that really love Crispies. Nobody ever told y'all we wasn't doing well. So where did you get that from? We meet the numbers every week. From the people that love our food. The people that love Crispy, that love
So it's
Randy.
like, what is this
We
guy?
don't
This guy's
care
only complaining
about the people
because
that don't like
he's
Randy,
getting
that
fucking
we don't
smoked
care
on
about
Facebook.
you. Why should we? Just like if somebody care about your son or daughter, would you care for the person that don't care for them? No. So we don't care about a person that got something negative to say about Crispies because we're going to keep grinding and keep going to the top. New locations coming soon. Miami's coming soon. The last thing you want to do is Crispies to leave West Virginia.
600 pounds of chicken breast? I have
Since
never
Crispies been
fucking
here, Alligator
600
Jack,
pounds.
with all
Goddamn.
they've been talking about for the past 3 months.
Fuck that. I get why food workers do mad drugs. Food, I was in the Marines. I've had a lot of jobs. The only job that ever made me be like, I think I need like a little bit of something to take the edge off almost every day was kitchen work. I worked in bars. I was a bouncer. Fine. But doing fucking back of house prep was just like, I'm going to rip. I'm getting ripped out of my fucking mind. I would show up to work blazed, like barely able to talk because I knew when I showed up at Chipotle, it was straight to the back, 3 p.m. I was the 3 p.m. to close. Shout out on my fucking closing shift fucking food workers. You know what I'm talking about. Show up at 3 and it's all the morning's dishes. And so I would I'd go in there 4 hours straight. Boom, 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 boom. Pans, full pan, quarter pan, third pan, full pan, quarter pan, third pan. All of them fucking stuck up, pasted together with fucking 30-day-old fucking pinto beans. They're like an hour, but the pinto bean juice turns to glue. Somebody inevitably has left some stupid thing in the fucking bit, throwing their fucking prep knives into the cloudy ass fucking first basin water. So like you just barely like, oh shit, is that a knife in there? That is a knife in there. There's just a knife, blade up, floating submerged like a fucking shark waiting to take my finger off and give me ultimate fucking Chipotle fucking dishwater sepsis. Wonderful. And that's the first 4 hours. That's a 10-hour shift. Maybe an 11-hour if it was a bad day, because it ends not when the fucking you get off at 10:30, right? We close the doors at 10:30, assuming some dipshit hasn't come in at 10:29. Like, hey, Betty, can I get some sour cream? Like, of course, go fuck yourself. Because then you gotta take down the hoods. Y'all ain't never worked in food. You never worked back of house. You never worked prep. You don't know about cleaning hoods. You ever cleaned a hood before? Every night. Degreaser, baby. Don't get the shit on your hands. You be drier than fucking Ben Shabibo's wife's fucking snatch. I'll tell you what. God damn. You'll start dreaming up shit. If you don't fucking start having some thoughts about revolution on your fucking like third night in a row, and it's 3 hours past fucking close instead of just 2 hours past close, 3 hours past fucking close, and you're fucking finally just getting to cleaning the hoods, which is like usually one of the last things you do in the day before you mop the back, losing your shit, dude. Want to fucking kill somebody. Don't breathe it in, dude. Don't get it near you. It's not safe for life. I got a tiny taste working at a grocery store deli for a bit, so I have a lot of respect for actual food workers. It's rough. It is a rough job.
Krispies. Since the 3 months we've been open, what everybody been talking about? No matter if it was from ketchup.
Yeah, he's a Chinese food place, a
no
pho
matter
restaurant,
from
as well as an
no
Indian
matter if this is
restaurant.
that. What they been talking about, Alligator Jack?
He's
There
also
you
a block
go.
from
That's
Racist
it.
Dudes.
That's all I care
Racist
about.
competition.
Because if you ain't
Yeah.
talking about is how clear we doing something wrong.
Yeah, why isn't he not talking about the fucking white people over at Roosters? Roosters is the one on the second story of the station place, right? In the middle of fucking Huntington. It's this whole like little shopping arcade where the movie theater is. Roosters is it's like a B-dubs type thing, like a beers and burgers sports bar. There you go. And it's full all the time. You know why? Because it's got cheap food and fucking ketchup. It's cheap ass beer.
Wrong. But we will not tolerate disrespect.
That's
and
right.
keep getting disrespected because of the color of our skin. And anybody that feels type of way
Being the
about
hood
it,
sounds
that
like a
means you must
KKK
clearly got something in your heart. But I'm
propaganda
saying something
piece.
you'll never understand African American. So how dare you have something to say about it?
And a hit dog will always holler.
So we're gonna wrap up because of time. But is there anything else that you'd like to add or talk about, or where we go from here, or
Yeah.
any of those things?
I do want to say it is the best chicken and waffle. I mean, great waffles. I mean, it's a great product.
It's the great best chicken waffles. Well, it's
amazing
great
waffles.
waffles.
It's the but. Let's leave it at it's a great product and leave it there.
Okay.
No buts. That's the problem every time they come into Krispies. It's a great product. I love the chicken. But it's hard to get the sandwich out the box. Oh, it's hard to do this. Oh, it's cashless. They don't have ketchup. Focus on the
But when you
product.
bite that chicken and waffle, what my man just said, when you bite that chicken and waffle, what it tastes like?
Oh, it's good. It's good stuff.
That's what this is about. It ain't
it.
about Randy Moss.
That's
It's
a
about
fat kid
bringing
endorsement.
A great product to Huntington, West Virginia. That's it. It ain't about being black or white. But we just telling you what we go through on the back end, on the regular. That's it. But where we go from here is this. Krispies is open to anybody that has a great heart, that's positive, that's not negative. We don't want that energy in our building. We don't want it. We want positivity. We want
He's
positive employees,
diabetic.
we
His
want
opinion
positive
doesn't
customers.
matter.
That's it. Anything else, but, leave that somewhere else. Yeah, Krispies not for you if that's your heart and that's where you stand.
But yeah, I really appreciate y'all coming on here. I really respect. I mean, I really like to come on here and you're not afraid to tell people, what you feel. So I respect that.
Understatement of the year, Alligator
They always
Jackson.
think that the logo ain't supposed to say nothing because it's a company, so they feel as though they can bully and say what they want to say because if they see the logo. But that logo is the people that built it. You got to remember, when you doing that, you stabbing the people that built it. Forget the logo. What about the people that built it? You think somebody want to deal with that when we built this from the ground struggle? No hot water, this, that struggle. 2 kids can't see them because we running the business 7 days a week? Why, you get to stay home with your kids? Come on.
See, that's
But that's like a thing that you're signing up to do. So you own the business. Like, what did
thing.
you,
That's the
did you think it was going to be easy to run a restaurant? Like, do you not have respect for the restaurant? Did you never? I'm going to say no experience. If you're a food service industry worker, What is the over under in your mind that these people worked in any aspect of food service before they started this restaurant? Because in my opinion, it's next to nothing. I can't imagine at management level, at front of house, at back of house, at delivery and service, like any aspect of it, I can't see them there. I feel like maybe like they just knew somebody that made fried chicken, or like they got an offer, or knew, like it feels more like they knew somebody and snuck in. Nothing that they've said is not something that every fucking restaurateur, it does not literally does not matter what color your fucking skin is. It does not matter. Every fucking restaurant owner has heard this shit. If you would have said one thing where someone's just like, hey, fuck you black people, to show, like if I would have got one of those, I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's a white guy. I literally can't. But like, hey, you don't have the product we don't serve? Every fucking restaurant I have ever worked at, bars I've worked at, why don't you have this product? We don't carry it. Getting excoriated at a Chipotle. Getting excoriated by a woman. Actually, it wasn't me. It was someone else at the fucking front. But I was just like, do I need to go up? You have one of those like daydreams where like, what if I just stabbed a customer? Just right across the fucking, right across the sneeze guard. She yelled at him, why are you out of food? Because we're a good restaurant. Like we ran out of a product because it was just sold. It was just gone. Sold out of something that day. It was just, we just sold. Why is the restaurant not have the food anymore? Like, because we sold it all, you stupid bitch. What the fuck do you mean? Not having the condiments that somebody wants. Yeah, every day. People just saying random shit to you, just being mean to you every day. Just stealing money from the till. Every business, every front-facing business with the own, even when the owner owns the place and the owner runs the till, theft from the till. It's just an aspect of running a business. They're not complaining about anything that's unique to black people, because I know about all of it. Every single one of the things that they brought up as a complaint is just something that exists in the restaurant industry at almost all levels too. People talking shit. People don't understand the product that you're selling. People don't understand like this, that, and that about the industry. But like normally it's like the outside people, and then on the inside you can kind of like turn and be like, fucking customers, right? But these guys aren't even turning to other people in the industry and asking for help and stuff. There's no way. Because like a lot of times people will try to fucking like help you. Like restaurant industry has industry nights for a reason. They all talk to each other. Like they send each other stuff. They give people heads up on suppliers. They give people heads up on cooks. Sometimes it'll be like, hey man, I lost my cook. My cook Jeremy, who has been my grill dude for 2 years. He's solid. He can't work first shift anymore because he's got to take his kids to work because his wife got a new job at the bank. So he's got to take his kids to school because his wife got a new job at the bank. So he can't work first shift anymore, but he's open for second shift. Do you need a second shift grill head? Like, yeah, actually, I absolutely need a second shift grill guy. Hey, do you need hey, well, I have a dude over here. We don't have enough shifts for him to do this. Like, do you have 2 shifts over there? If you're not able to hire people, by the way, in restaurant, that is 100% on you too, because word gets around quick. Especially in Huntington, everyone knows everyone. So like the entire restaurant industry, first off, is walking past each other from the parking garage on their way to the goddamn businesses that they're working in. This is all within a square mile, folks, if not less, like a quarter square mile. It's almost the entirety of the restaurant industry, so to say, in Huntington. Everything else is like kind of out on the fucking highways and shit. All these people, you get in your car, it's like, hey man, were you working at Crispy's? Like, yeah, what's that like? Dude, those fucking people are psychotic. I would never work there again. Do you guys still have an opening over at fucking Place X? Like, no, but I can talk to whatever his name is, he out on the fucking exit. Do you mind going over to the fucking Canovo and working like here? I think they got a shift open. Like, fuck yeah, I'll definitely work there. That's what the fucking, if you guys don't know this, that's what the restaurant industry is like. It's like every other fucking industry. People talk. It's close. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone fucking knows each other. But yeah, these people just have no idea about the restaurant industry. You know what I mean? And like, you don't try to tell me I'm fucking like I'm too white to know about it, dude. Almost half the fucking people I ever worked for in the restaurant industry were fucking black or Latino. Almost like half of all of them, which is not the standard distribution of race in America. A lot of women. Motherfucker really pulled it. Y'all don't have phones, but for ketchup. True. Alice Payne. True. I mean, it's just out of it. Saying not seeing people check out at a Walmart, like not knowing the Walmart takes cash at self-checkout is crazy. Because first off, it just makes sense. It's like a vending machine. There's no till to take anything out of. Just go straight in the fucking machine. But like all of the rest of it is just insane. And the guy being that hyped up for it is gnarly. I don't know how he's on it for 30 minutes. If my man's not fucking yicked up, I would be surprised as shit. Cause I don't know how you get that I don't know how you get that beside yourself to the point where you're fucking bouncing in your chair, point jumping 30 minutes in almost, like 25 minutes in. Like, bro, you got to take it easy, man. If you were taking the pills, stop. If you haven't been taking the pills, start. That's the only way to do it. I have no idea. There's no way they last. That's so fucking embarrassing. There's no way they last. Most restaurants fail within 2 years of starting. And that's usually because of a variety of factors. A lot of them boil down to most of the people are starting a restaurant for the first time, or they're starting a restaurant in that medium for the first time. It's usually when people try to upscale from like a food truck to a brick and mortar, or if they try to move from like a brick and mortar to a food court. There's just different operational challenges that come with all sorts of different aspects of the restaurant industry. Usually it's a lack of experience. Sometimes it's a lack of good food. That's actually kind of more rare than you'd think. Most people do make pretty decent food. Food's kind of just okay. And the rest of it's just the restaurant industry is a fucking murderous, psychotic bitch. It's just one of the worst industries ever. It's fickle. It makes no fucking sense. There's almost nothing about it that's predictable, which is why all of the best companies in it aren't the best tasting companies. They're just the ones that stack the deck in their own favor from top to bottom, from production through distribution down to consumer end. They stack the deck for themselves. That's why you have McDonald's. It cheated its way to having the burgers. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like